3:04. This is a special meeting. It will be streamed live on the the Rio Blanco County YouTube channel. I would like for us to do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Okay, moving on to line item number 2. If we could, I would entertain a motion on the agenda.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adopt the agenda as written. June 30th, 2026.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt our agenda as written. Would you please call the roll?
Did you guys agree that it was okay to say all in favor?
That's why we did it the last.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All righty, moving on to, do we have any public comments? Don't see anyone in the room. Do we have anyone online that would be interested in public comments? Seeing none, we will move on. So our action items today, I would entertain, let's have discussion before we have a motion on our action item number 1, which is the increasing the white construction and excavation agreement. Do you want to visit with us a little bit about that?
Sure.
Liz?
Right now, the contract that we have signed with them is puts a cap at $500,000. The main purpose was that is Road and Bridges hadn't worked with them specifically before, so we wanted to make sure that if we progressed down the road and things weren't working well, that there was an easy out option without it becoming difficult if the contract became maxed. Right now, I gave you a summary of the expenses, and that is current as of noon today with everybody's expenses. That means whites have $201,661.75 left in that contract. So the natural progression, that will probably cover the rest of the culvert cleaning operations. But if we were to have, with the El Nino events and hopefully some rain coming, if we're to have debris flows, and then not only the cost of cleaning the debris flows, but then probably re-cleaning some of the culverts, they will very, very likely exceed the $500,000 cap on the contract. I was asked to pick a number that we knew that they wouldn't exceed, so we don't have to do this again. And so I picked high. Admittedly, there could be some problems with that if people took advantage of us. I have not seen that. I mean, with the invoicing process and the way things go, I think it would be, number one, I ethically, I don't feel that construction company has that tendency. So I don't want to put that on them, but also with the invoicing requirements, because they're required to document the work before and after pictures, a spot of where they worked every day, that it would be very difficult to take advantage. That is out and observes them. So if there's debris flows on the road, he's going to have a very good idea how many cubic yards needed to be moved to somewhere else. And that's the only downside I see to a large extension. We are, I didn't write it down myself. The NRCS cap is $7 million, and we are under $1 million expended so far. And so even if all of that were to be used, that we're not close to exceeding what the NRCS allotted for the EWP program in Rio Blanco County.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
We talked about that.
No, that's, I'm sorry.
Again.
But I think we just need to visit with, I think we need to, so the question is in regards, it's actually not pertaining to this motion, so
No,
let's have
yeah, all
that
right,
conversation
okay,
later.
You're right.
But the
I'm
question
all-
is, with that amount of money on, in the NRCS, let's revisit that conversation a little bit.
yeah,
Okay,
That's where I got off.
Yeah, you're okay.
okay.
So any questions, Commissioner O'Haren, on this white construction modification?
So this was an RFP, correct? And that we approved it based off that or no?
It was a request for proposal and they were brought under contract. But basically what was approved was their equipment rate and labor rate for that, because it was unknown how long it's going to take to clean each culvert or how many debris flows there are going to be. So Vicky and I randomly picked a number at $500,000 to cap the contract, just because there's no way to predict what the costs were going to be.
And I think you can say either fortunately or unfortunately. Unfortunately, we're of a very dry year. So we have not needed it the way we anticipated with the spring runoffs. So, but now if we do get a heavy rain season, then having that available immediately rather than capping that contract at another smaller amount, because when we need it, we're gonna need it, if it comes up. Otherwise, I mean, if the culverts are clear and Thad has driven by them and those are all clear, we're not getting another invoice on those.
My understanding was it's gonna take more than what we appropriated to get the work done that we wanted to get done. There's a lot more to do down there than what we thought. Is that correct?
I don't think there's any more work to do down there. It's, I mean, that project compared to the Elk is a lot different. The size of your culverts are a lot bigger down the creek. So, I mean, and it was double the mileage to clean. So having them do it the same kind of price range probably wasn't fair.
So, and I do understand we've got some questions on what NRCS will cover or not cover, but I think that that's, I don't think that necessarily plays into this. 'Cause I think if it's the work that we need to get done anyway, even if NRCS doesn't cover it, it makes sense that we proceed with that.
There are culverts from, I believe the Squarehouse culvert is at mile marker 30, roughly speaking.
Yeah, 30, 31.
And so between 30 and 35 down towards 22, there are culverts in there that are clearly impacted and maybe up the road to maybe mile marker 28 to Lee Gulch. And that's what Clinton's going to come and review and essentially line item. And so there are going to be more invoices for culvert cleaning. I sent all of White's invoices with all of their photos to Clinton today. So he has that information when he comes out Monday. And I'm hoping he will have put that on his map so that when we go, we can not only review the culverts to be cleaned, but we can come back to you with the ones that Clinton has a question over and is saying that he doesn't believe they're impacted because of the fire.
Okay. Any other discussion? And if not, I would entertain a motion.
Sorry, I was looking for my agenda. Madam Chair, I move to approve contract modification with White's Construction and Evacuation LLC, increasing the agreement from $500,000 to $1.5 million for County Road 5 culvert and debris management under the EWP project.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second in regards to the White Construction and Excavation contract. Any other questions or discussion?
Just to be clear that this is money that we are getting from the
NRCS,
NRCS. This isn't county money.
correct. Well, the 12.5% is county money.
So 75% paid through NRCS, 12.5%
Right.
paid by the state
Yes.
Department DHSEM.
Yep.
And 12.5% is county.
I just want to make sure public understood that.
And there may be a few based on NRCS not approving a few of them that needed to be done anyway, and I'm personally comfortable with that, so. Okay, with that being said, would you please call roll? I don't know what else we say.
No. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right. Moving on to line item number 2. So discussion on the possible bid award for County Road 33 EWP contractor. So again, Liz, go ahead.
Okay, we had 5 contractors bid, a very wide range of bids from $72,000 to $246,000 for exactly the same scope of work and same engineering design. With that in mind, all of them are experienced contractors, all of them filed complete bids, and all are deemed qualified to do the work. The low bidder is CRC out of Craig. Their bid is $72,160. Thad and Antina, and I don't know if Toby looked at this one. The feedback is they are the contractors that did the fence at the landfill, and they delivered that product on time, were pleasant to work with, understood when wrinkles happen that changes the work plan. And they came in on budget. Toby said they came in almost to the dollar what they had bid. So the biggest line items where they are different than the other because they are, $48,000 roughly less than the closest bidder. So looking at that with an eye to can they deliver the product for that much less money? They are almost identical to the engineer's estimate of cost. And the biggest difference is in what they put in the bid to grade the road on County Road 33 and the private driveway and the cost to revegetate the area. There are some differences. Also the trash grade, they didn't charge near as much for the trash grade. So maybe they are self-fabricating that or something, I don't know. And so with Thad's endorsement, we are suggesting that CRC would be the contractor to choose for County Road 33.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with CRC. Looked a good product to us before, so.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns?
Just one last one is the, I think Liz addressed the 5%, given Bolton the 5% difference for the local bidder, that could be important. With that, it's,
Yeah, he came in at 138,000. And I took 5% of his bid since it was the highest bid. So to me, that's the maximum benefit to Bolton that I could give. And they are, yeah, exactly. They're $65,000 higher than CRC and that is including the 5% deduction. And that is largely, I question whether they got the right bid for concrete blocks. They charged, but they also charged a lot more money to install the culvert and install the concrete blocks. It was all, those 3 items right there made up the bulk of the difference.
And the mobilization.
Yes, they're the closest and they charge the most to mobilize.
Okay, so with that, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to award the bid for County Road 33 Emergency Watershed Project Contract to CRC. Right?
Yes.
Great, Mayfield.
I second.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second to approve the bid or the award to CRC on the County Road 33. Would you please call our roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do you want the amount on there?
Let's do,
Okay,
please. And so it is $72,160.
thank you. 72,160. Okay.
Thank you for making sure we get that. All right, so moving on to our action item 3. Again, discussion of the possible bid award for the State Highway 13 Old Meeker Landfill EWP project. So Liz?
So, we received 4 bids on that. One of the contractors that you'll see blank on your sheet, the bid was not signed, and that signature is also certification that the information is accurate, and they're saying that they will hold to the bid. So we did not consider that bid because we didn't, and they also didn't include any of the other information that was required on the invitation to bid. So I have notified him that he did not complete that, and so we did not consider the bid, and I got 0 answer back. So, which is, I took that as a good thing. Because I invited him to call if he had any questions or concerns about the decision. So that left us with 3. They all came in remarkably similar to the engineer's estimate of cost. If the engineer's estimate is $186,000, and that is if you take out the contingency, because they did not have a line item on their bid sheet to put that contingency fund in. The lowest bidder, again, all of the contractors attended the mandatory pre-site meeting and all were deemed qualified to perform the work. The low bidder is Bolton Construction, and that is even without the 5% discount. And the biggest differences in his bid were the west grading plan. He was significantly less money there, and also on the revegetation cost. So that is the primary reason. And so we would, with Toby and Thad's endorsement, we would suggest that Bolton Construction be the chosen bidder for this.
Okay, any other questions or concerns? If not, I would entertain a motion on line item number 3.
Madam Chair, I move to approve a bid award for the State Highway 13 Old Meeker Landfill Emergency Watershed Project contractor to Bolton Construction in the amount of $180,312.52.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, if you would please call the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that was 180,312.52.
Correct. Okay, so line item taken care of. So moving on to line item number 4, consideration, so discussion of a landowner agreement with Vernon and Thelma Adams. So Liz, do you want to give us a little bit of background on that one?
Yes, if I could, I'll just discuss all 3 of them at the same time because they're all tied with each other. The Andersons, Gus Anderson and Joe Merriam families have chosen that they will pay all of the cost share, so Adams will not have any out-of-pocket cost on the project. And so with that agreement in place, Adams has agreed to have the work performed. I did include on theirs a email from Annette King. She is the daughter that has the power of attorney. I'm a little unclear exactly what her power of attorney covers. It's not limited because they definitely put all of the daughters put Dwayne in the decision-making role. So he has signed the form, and I do have an email from the sister with the power of attorney saying that she agrees to the project. So she did not sign the form. I do anticipate that there's likely to be some questions that come up throughout the project that I would like them to be referred to me, because I think that is the easiest way to facilitate the questions that come up with it. But I think that's very generous of the Anderson families and Joe Merriam's family to just step up, and they want the project done. They want to protect the road and the neighbor's ditch. And so it's a really nice community offer, I believe.
Okay, so with that, I would entertain a motion on light item number 4.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to execute the agreement with Vernon D. and Thelma Adams to participate in the Emergency Watershed Project, EWP County Road 33.
I second.
So a motion and a second on the Adams EWP agreement. Any other discussion?
So really quick on the power of attorney. So she has the power of attorney, but she didn't sign.
That is correct. And I did not ask, I know there's limited powers of attorney, and so I am not 100% sure what the power of attorney covers. So I did include the letter, saying that she agreed to the project. But no, she did not sign.
Maybe we should have Rose look at this before we do this. Make sure we're
I guess the question comes in is he not able, is he not a concern?
It has never been when I am there. He understands the project. He has gone through the engineering designs and has asked me more technical and detailed questions than any of the other landowners. And so he seems very capable of reading the plans and doing that. When I told him that his neighbors had offered to pay all of the cost share, his response was, "Oh, good, I really want to do the project, but my daughters have reminded me that I've agreed not to spend any money."
So he used to work for the State Highway Department for years, so he understands that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And I believe that I would just think that we need Rose to look at that, because I think the daughters want him to be in the decision-making, but he's prepared for
The documents.
the documents. I mean, in his estate, he's given somebody else power of attorney. So
Right.
I don't know how that legally lines up.
The daughters are aware that he has signed it.
Yeah.
And has agreed to the project.
So
Oh, and-
it depends on how it reads. And so, and if he's been deemed incompetent by a doctor or physician. So we do need to look into that. That just makes me a little nervous, and my background in adult protection, and depending on how that's written, we need to look at it. I mean, would you not agree with that, Rose?
Yes, I think we should just take a look. And commissioners, what you could do is table this item. As soon as I get the paperwork, I will take a look and just make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, so that there's no liability for the county. You all could, the clerk can do an email poll to get your approval if everything looks right, so it doesn't hold anything up. And then we can put it on for ratification at your next meeting. So I think we could move it through pretty quick. But I do think taking a look at that paperwork is going to be important.
Rose, can I not just amend my motion to say that after your approval, we can execute it?
Assuming I approve, and then if you don't approve, then I guess it just dies.
Assuming that everything is done the correct way. If it's done the correct way, then we can just execute it. If it isn't, then we have to come back anyway.
Sure, you can do it contingent on attorney review.
And I don't know if this is of significance, but what I did is I took all of the information off the county website, and he is the property owner of record on the website. But have what, the daughter, Debbie Rayleigh, that lives here told me that Annette has the power of attorney. So that is the only reason that I am aware that contingency, but he is the property owner of record.
So if he's the property owner but lacks capacity, or there's a power of attorney in place, then it doesn't matter because he's not competent to sign. And I don't know that. I didn't look at it for that purpose. So if you just send it to me with the power of attorney, I can put all the pieces together and move it through.
So we need to request the durable or the power of attorney from Deb or from someone. We need to see that physical document
Okay,
of the power of attorney.
and would it be acceptable if Annette is the one that has the power of attorney, if I sent her the agreement and she signed that, would that be acceptable in?
We still need to see that power of attorney.
Okay, right, okay, got it.
I think-
Of course, so we know why she's,
Exactly.
I got
I'm
it.
sorry, Rose. I believe that's,
I
No,
got that.
That's accurate. Because the power of attorney could be in effect in the future. Doesn't necessarily mean it's in effect now. It could be in effect now because 2 doctors have certified that he's not competent to sign paperwork. Like, I have no idea without looking at the actual power of attorney and understanding why the power of attorney is in place or not in place, just exists for the future.
Okay. All righty. So do you want to do a friendly amendment to your
Yes.
motion?
Yes, I do. I would like to do a friendly amendment that this is approved after county attorney review.
And I will still second.
All right. So I have a motion and a second to execute the agreement with Vernon D. and Thelma Adams to participate in the EWP project on County Road 33 with attorney review. So if you would call roll, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All righty, moving on to line item 5.
Madam Chair, I move to approve landowner agreement with the Anderson Trust to participate in the Emergency Watershed Project, EWP, on County Road 33.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? If not, if you would please call the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, moving on to line item 6, please.
Madam Chair, I move to execute the agreement with Miriam Revocable Trust to participate in the Emergency Watershed Project, EWP County Road 33.
I second.
A motion and a second on line item 6 in regards to the Merriam Revocable Trust agreement on County Road 33. If you would please call the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I think that takes care of the EWP pieces. Is that accurate? Okay. Let's see. Yes. So Liz, do you have time to wait?
Absolutely,
a little
I was
while.
just moving up.
Okay, but if you have time, we'll visit with you afterwards.
Yes.
But we're gonna have some other sessions, so it might take us a little bit. So
Yeah.
if we need to call you, we can do that too.
No, that's fine.
Okay. All righty, moving on to line item 7, consideration of task order for SGM. Thad, are you the one that wants to tell us a little bit more about that?
So the task order that we have with SGM, we've done several other, I think this would be number 7 that we've done through them. The County Road 4 bridge is failing very quickly. And we're looking to replace it with a concrete box culvert. And if we go down with this task order, we could have 30% design by July 24th or 28th, end of July.
And it's load rated right now.
It's load rated right now at 6 ton and 10 ton for your semi haulers.
What's the significance of 30% by the end of July? What does that get us?
A long ways. It'll go really quickly after the 30% design to get to the 90%. It's getting to that 30% that takes the longest.
And we bid it at 30%. We do RFP at 90%. What's, I'm sorry.
Just for the design of the box culvert is at 30% design. They'll need to get to 100% design on the box culvert, but the task order would get us to the 30%, and then we'd know which direction if we wanted to go down the road.
By that you mean which direction you want to go, whether you're going to go with a box culvert or a culvert?
Right. Well, we can't do a culvert probably. There's not enough ground cover.
So I'm
A
sorry.
bridge. There are several other like quick bridges, but a concrete box culvert has worked really well down Piance Creek. And with the amount of truck traffic, I think it would be the best bridge for the situation out on County Road 4.
I trust your judgment in that. It's just the process is then we get this at 30%.
And then we would take it farther.
So what you're asking for is money to go to 30%.
Right.
And then when we get that far, we will go to 90% with an RFP in that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So along those same lines, we're pretty confident we're going with the box culvert. I mean, it makes sense to, I think, all of us. So my concern is it costs $106,000 to tell us what we already know. What is it that we don't know that we need them to tell us for $106,000?
So it's the whole engineering side of things. The hydrology, thank you. And then obviously the design, the load carrying capacity of that.
So trying to make sense of this, then why don't we just go to 90%, or why don't we just do the whole thing? If that's what we're going to do, let's get her done and get it bid.
I can do that.
So
Why-
rather than go through engineering.
You just go, go to the full 90, 100. We can
And
do
does that cost us more? I mean, because
It will end up because it will be more engineering.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried. I mean, we're already at $106,000 to tell us what we already need to know, or we probably know. And then how much more is it gonna cost us to go to the 100% before we ever can send it out to bid? I mean, I get it on big bridges, I'm just trying to understand it, because on big bridges, obviously they need to be engineered, but I guess I don't understand and know. If a box culvert is not as easy as it just seems like it is, and that may be the case.
Well, I don't,
Well, you still got to have it load rated, so it's still got to be able to carry. It'd be the same as a large bridge. It's still carrying that same load.
so we know that we're going to go with the box culvert. That's what we prefer. And we're asking them to justify that. Is that what it is? Or I don't understand the 30%. Why are we, is that normal when you do things?
Bridges all usually go to a 30, sometimes a 60, and then a 90% design.
And this is for, I think, the engineering piece of it, if I'm understanding. it.
Yeah.
So this design would tell them, lay out the plans and the specs and say, you've got to have
And then you
this much
can
dirt
go-
and this much here, and this has to be here, and which we don't have a qualified engineer in-house that can give us that.
Yeah, I understand that part of it, but what I don't understand is if we go to 30%, we've bought in. We're gonna
So-
go the rest of the way. So
This is just for design. This isn't for construction.
Right.
So you have to have the design, and I just, treat it at 30, 60, 90 is what I was gonna do. But if you want me to go just to the full 100% design so we can put it out for construction, I can do that.
So this would basically, we would come back and do another task order to reach 80%, 90%, or this
Usually.
task order gets at 100.
Or,
It's just a time period.
the way I drafted that task order was to do, design engineering complete on that concrete box culvert. So that task order should take us to the 30% milestone at the end of July, and then to the complete 100% design milestone. And I believe they pushed it to, September for me so that, we could then go out to construction in the fall, so we will know ground running.
So this $106,000 actually covers the 30, the 60, and the 90, and the 100%. We don't come back in.
That should take us to 100% design, yes.
Okay.
That 106, yes.
That's helpful. And we're only looking at a box culvert. We're not having them look at other alternatives. We're just looking at a box culvert, tell us what we need to do and how we need to do it on that.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense for me. I still cried, that'd be crazy, $106,000 just to do that, but it is what it is, I guess. Because we need to get that bridge fixed. What other questions do we have?
In the design, is that where we get an estimate on cost?
Construction costs.
We'll know, yeah, construction costs in that design.
So that to me is the answer I was looking for. That tells us what we're gonna have to bring in on this bridge so we can make the decision to go forward or not. That makes sense to me. Okay.
And 100% design. And, estimated cost. Okay. Okay, with that, any other questions? Commissioner O'Hare?
I do not. Thank you.
All righty. So with that, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move to approve task order 007 to the SGM Master Services Agreement for the design of County Road 4 Emergency Repair Project in the amount of $106,200.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second to approve task order 007. Unless there's other discussion, would you please call roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay? Oh, sorry, opposed. I was reading the word. I'm sorry.
John doesn't want it.
I'm sorry.
We needed something
It's-
lighter. Thank you. All righty. So, thank you, sir. And ma'am, appreciate all your input. Moving on to line item 8. So, consideration of the ratification of the grant application to the Colorado Broadband Office. So, Eric, would you mind just kind of doing a quick overview?
This is on the middle mile grant.
Yes,
Yes.
sorry, yes, the middle mile grant.
Yeah, so recently the Colorado Broadband Office has been open to helping build out infrastructure in Colorado. And they opened up the middle mile grant. This grant was structured in scope to construct middle mile. The easy way to understand networking is you have essentially interstates, highways, and then your streets. Your highways are considered middle mile, so those are the backbone that comes off of the main interstates. Currently, our infrastructure right now in our broadband network for fiber is considered last mile. So that goes from the data center to the home, to the business, to the community anchor institute. We don't currently own any middle mile infrastructure. During the review and focus in on what the strategic approach for Rio Blanco County is for infrastructure and also for broadband, it is imperative that we connect the two communities that we have, Meeker and Rangeley. The scope of the county going ahead and implementing our own conduit and fiber pathway, the 50 miles that connects between where our fiber in Meeker ends and our fiber in Rangeley ends, helps strengthen our infrastructure and our capabilities to support the community of Rio Blanco. That includes all anchor institutes too. So the schools, the hospitals, White River Electric, those type of entities, along with also the community, the individuals and the businesses. So with that being said, we, on approval from the commissioners, submitted on Monday a grant application. That grant application totaled $15,047,000. We did a 30% match on that in-kind cash. That is to do that construction of that fiber conduit. It's 144 strand fiber. We would look at potentially seeing maybe an award here in the late fourth quarter of this year, with design being probably between 3 and 6 months, and then a construction of time period of 24 months is what we have proposed for in the broadband grant application.
We did receive letters of support from both towns, WREA.
And our network provider, Thor. So.
Good job. Good work while you were on vacation, just.
I did not think we were gonna get it all together, but last night we got it submitted and we're good to go. So fingers crossed.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I would entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to ratify for the ratification of a grant application to the Colorado Broadband Office for the Advanced Local Middle Mile Grant Program.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on ratifying that grant application. Any other discussion? If not, if we could do the roll call, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that takes us through our action items. And so we would, I would entertain a motion for the executive session.
Madam Chair, I move to enter into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 24-6-402 4B for the purpose of receiving legal advice for specific legal questions with the MCCIC Board.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, with a motion and a second to go into executive session. Can I have roll call, please?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, I'm sorry. For the executive session, Madam Clerk, you do need to do an actual roll call.
Okay, let me take that back then. We'll go Overton,
Aye.
O'Hare,
Aye.
Scritchfield.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Okay, it is June 30th at 3:47. And for the record, my name is Callie Scritchfield and I am the presiding officer. As required by the open meeting law, this executive session is being electronically recorded. Or not, because we have legal counsel, is that right?
So this portion is still electronically recorded until I say that my spiel about.
Oh, that's right.
Order off. Yes.
Okay. Also present at this executive session would be the three of us commissioners, O'Haron, Scritchfield, and Overton, as well as Vicki Edwards. Blank on that one. And Attorney Rose Puglisi. And Eric Marquez. And I caution each participant to confine all discussion to the stated purpose of the executive session and that no formal action may occur in the executive session. If at any point in the executive session, any participant believes that the discussion is going outside of the proper scope of the executive session, please interrupt the discussion and make the objection. This is an executive session for CSR 24-6-4024B. Okay.
This is Rose Puglisi, County Attorney. Because this executive session involves legal advice, I'm advising the board that no recording be kept and the recorder be turned off.
Okay, thank you very much. We will move into the other room and We are waiting momentarily for our clerk and recorder.
No problem.
Wasn't doing that before, was it?
What?
Were you getting
The echo?
Oh, I didn't hear any echo.
I'll close the door, maybe it's just.
And don't forget to do the motion to leave executive session and just note the time that Commissioner Overton left. Please.
Okay.
Which was like 2 minutes ago.
I was eating black boba.
Mm.
I am all sticky. That is, I'm like, I licked that last piece, y'all, just so you know. Don't touch it.
Okay, you're being recorded.
You're live streaming.
That's awesome. I just licked the bottom.
You want the
Okay, so this is
Okay. Commissioner O'Hara, I would entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Madam Chair, I move to exit executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 24-6-402 4B for the purpose of receiving legal advice for specific legal questions with the MCCIC Board. Commissioner Overton leaving at 4:40 and us ending or exiting at 4:43.
And I will second that motion.
And you'll
So
need a.
with that, yes. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The clerk will need to do a roll call on
Yes.
this. Okay, thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Scritchfield,
Aye.
O'Hara.
Aye.
Okay, so I hereby attest that this recording reflects the actual contents of the discussion at the executive session and has been made to satisfy the recording requirements of an open meetings law. For the record, if any person who participated in the executive session believes that any substantial discussion of any matters not included in the motion to go into executive session occurred during the executive session, or that any improper action occurred during the executive session in violation of the open meetings law, I would ask that you please state your concerns for the record at this time. Hearing none, we will provide the tape to the clerk to retain for the 90-day period. It is now 4:44, and we have concluded the executive session and returned to our open meeting. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn the meeting at 4:44.
I second that. And if you would do the roll call.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose?
Okay. Well, thank you all and have a good afternoon, what's left of it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.